To everybody out there, to the attendees and to the panelists, to the attendees, good morning. Welcome to another Creative Zone webinar. It's a pleasure to see you there. We have a lot of our own clients there, an extended network of our partners that are on this webinar who have also been sharing the invite and inviting their own network. On the panelists, thank you so much for being with us. Khalil, Francisco, Ben, Roni, it's a pleasure to have you here and to be able to learn about the work that you do and to share your knowledge with our audience. So thanks again for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. So as a quick introduction to the attendees, Ben Mclean is the head of e-commerce at DHL. Francisco Pellegrini is the CEO of Eureka Labs. Khalil Alami is the CEO of Telr. And Roni Fares is the co-founder of DXBEE in Dubai. So guys, let's get this moving. Let's get this on the road. I mean, the e-commerce industry has boomed over the last 2-3 months due to the COVID-19 situation. I mean, you guys were already in the right track since the whole world was going into this digitalization type of thing. But I think this situation has forced us to make this transformation even quicker. So maybe, Khalil, I can get started with you. How do you see where we are now when it comes to e-commerce in the UAE?
Great. Well, thank you, Lorenzo, for this nice panel, and thank you for all the panelists for joining. So let me start by telling you what Telr is. So Telr is an online payment gateway here in the UAE, and we operate in the region in Saudi Arabia as well, and in the GCC countries. We've been around since 2014. We enable basically merchants and companies to accept payments online through their website or their mobile app, and give them all kinds of tools in order to enhance and enrich and scale up their business. We aim to provide the top-notch technology because of our unique and state-of-the-art platform that we've built over the years. It's a proprietary one, state-of-the-art. It's PCI certified, so security is top-notch. We are proud to be the first PCI certified company in the Middle East altogether. So what we provide the merchant is tools in order to be able to go online and accept payments from his customers. Now, that does not mean that you have to have a website or a mobile app only. We can actually enable these brick and mortars shops that do not have any online presence to also accept e-commerce transactions. And this is something that was stimulated through this COVID-19 crisis that you just mentioned in the past few months. Like you said, this crisis was a stimulant for our industry. Maybe not in the first couple of weeks, but then overall it was a great stimulant in order people that did not ever use a credit card or did not ever use a credit card online started using and buying things and getting them delivered with DHL and other couriers as well. So this is this stimulant made us look outside of the box. So a lot of businesses were ready, but not everybody had e-commerce ready. So what do I do if I have a shop in the mall and I don't have a website or a mobile app and I don't have any possibility of accepting payments? What do? Do I just sit and lose my business? No. So we created this mobile app that you can download. It's connected to our servers, and you can instantly create. If I want 100 dirhams from Lorenzo, I just put 100 dirhams. It instantly creates a payment URL link. I can share it via WhatsApp, SMS, whatever, and you can click on it. It will give you a payment page, it's secure, and you can go ahead and do that. So the e-commerce space right now is seeing a huge growth because of influx of people coming and running in order to enable their e-commerce. And I believe this is going to be the future. There are certain things that people have to look for before going online. They have to make sure that they are protected from a security perspective. They have to look. You have to look for a payment gateway that is going to protect their rights, that offer 3D secure transactions, PCI, that are PCI certified, that have fraud and prevention tools built into the platform. Because the last thing you want to do is go online and start selling your products and then be hit with chargebacks and frauds and lose a big part of your business. So all these tools are available at Telr, and and we're enabling these new tools on a continuous basis.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, going forward, I'd like to learn more a little bit about how is it that you're helping the startup community, entrepreneurs. How do you, assist them in setting up a payment gateway? But also to hear a little bit about what are the penetration levels in the future conversation with you. I want to hear, what is the potential of growth? How many payment gateways do we have in the UAE and so on? And what's the potential for this? But Ben, I want to take the conversation with you now. What is it on the side of distribution, DHL? Of course, DHL is one of the biggest brands when it comes to logistics and distributions around the world. So tell us a little bit what's been happening on that front or side of things.
Yeah, certainly. So, I mean, just following on from the previous point that Khalil was making about the transformation. This is a journey that's been ongoing for quite a long time. I mean, the last 2 to 3 months has been a real sprint. But I think if you look at the infrastructure and how Dubai's been built, if I start there, it's part of the UAE roadmap. I mean, they're very, very focused on building a cashless economy in terms of paper. They're trying to digitalize the economy itself. You can see that all the way through the government. It's in their roadmap. And the infrastructure they're trying to build here is to be able to support that. And I think we've seen that in our day-to-day lives, right? I mean, my kids are doing homeschooling. You can see that I think we're further afield than a lot of other countries. So we've adapted to, I think, change a lot better. Now, bringing it back to from an e-commerce perspective, you can see already that you've got free zones being developed here, which are specifically designed for online, not offline. You've got, world-class airlines here that proximity to the rest of the world is you can get to 78% of the population in 7 to 8 hours. You can see from a VC perspective, money's being ramped up. They've been spending money. You can see there's been a lot of big homegrown companies that have been, basically built up and sold, like Kareem and Sook. So it's a very, very positive leading before COVID. And we've seen that transformation, as that was talking about, especially with today within the GCC, the main payment is cash, and that creates its own set of challenges. And now we're seeing with the impact of COVID transform into contactless delivery. And the fact now we're seeing Saudi, there's some changes in Saudi with VAT change on the 1st of July. There's also duty changes happening within the next few days on products. We feel that's going to start to also accelerate that transformation from cash to credit. So when you tie it back to sort of pre-COVID, I mean, if you look at last year, online sales within the GCC represent about 4% approximate. We're seeing growth rates of up to 400%. We're aware that domestic e-commerce could be up to 1,000%. So if you imagine from an infrastructure perspective, it's not being built to support this. So we're doing everything we can to try and support our customers during this time to transform. But we're seeing a lot of the big organizations having to do quite a lot of work. Yeah, it's part of their roadmap, but they're accelerating that. And that's all the way through in terms of how they interact with their customers, their social platform, making sure they've got consistency between all their sales channels as well. And I think the big one is for SMEs. I think there's a lot of opportunities. The type of products that are being purchased has changed. If you look at last year, 80% of the products remained in 4 categories. That's completely changed now. And it's really interesting to see that, if you think about it from this way, you've got a very young population across the region. They're very digitally connected, and you've got some of the highest penetration rates in the world. At the same time, the disposable income is quite high. The typical basket value tends to be double the mature markets. So you put that together and you put it in this type of situation, you've got an incredible opportunity. And hence the reason why you said I've been so busy lately. The last 5 to 6 weeks have been very demanding, but very rewarding. So if anyone is listening on here, I'd say there's an incredible amount of opportunity there at the moment. And look, I mean, there's lots of different markets really starting to evolve and change around the world. So it's an exciting time to be in this space. Excellent,
excellent. I mean, that's some good comments there. I like the statistics. We'd like to learn more about some of those numbers. We've got 240 attendees out there. This is a great session. We will try to give as many tips and advice as possible. Please send us your questions on the little Q&A box section. We already start having a few coming in. I'm going to start reading them out. Roni, from your side, is this playing field more towards advantageous for the bigger corporations, for the bigger platforms, for the bigger companies, or is it as good as that for the startups and for the entrepreneurs?
First of all, thank you guys all for being here. Thank you, all the attendees, all the speakers. Basically, what's happening, if you look at the whole evolution of e-commerce and business in general, the human element, as us as humans, as intelligent beings, we have an ability to create and co-create together. And what's been happening recently, if you look at the current world, is that we are stuck in a system that allows us to be working for creative organizations, but we're not tapping into that creative element. We're expecting in the next 10 years to see a lot of digital nomads, and we're expecting to see by 2030, around 1 billion of the population to become nomads. What does that mean? Nomads mean that everyone is their own business. A human being is their own business. You had, if you go 100 years back, you would see that everyone had their own shop, their own store, their own creative element. And what infuses them the ability to do that is the tools that we give them by collaborating together as one. That's where the element of DXBEE comes into place, because we really believe in that B concept of being a hive and building that network of a hive where we're supporting each other to actually elevate humanity. And the only way we can do that is share the skills that we need. Because if you look at e-commerce in general, you look at when we were building websites and platforms for several entrepreneurs, corporations, global companies, why did they need a website? A website comprised of an About Us page, a Contact Us page, and a product shop. This tool has developed and evolved during the years. So now you have Instagram, where it's your About Us page. You have WhatsApp, which is your Contact Us tool. But now you have to infuse that with payment tools, with shipping tools, fulfillment tools, with drop shipping, with the ability to a person be able to control their whole business, and by doing a lot of collaboration using a hive network. And we are going to see a lot of, with these tools being present, like with the likes of DHL, the likes of Telr, a lot of other payment gateways, a lot of drop shipping, a lot of packaging, making it simple and easier for people to actually own the process and become co-creators, become the essence of what we are as humanity. So actually, every one of us has to be able to give back and not be stuck that, you know what, I have to go to a job and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, you can be your own boss. You can open your own business, and you can do it simply by starting with a tool that allows you to reach to all the world, which is the web, and which is basically an e-commerce platform is one way to go. So, so just to answer your question, yes, we are going to see this as a lot of these entrepreneurs are going to be multi-channel. So they are going to be using a lot of marketplaces that exist. And a lot of them, they want to own their own business. So they want to be able to control and integrate with their own shipping, fulfillment, drop shipping, packaging, being able to market their products directly and be able to focus on what they care about the most, which is product, customer, and growth.
Excellent, Roni. Very good comments. There's a lot of questions. I want to go back to you on how is it that you can help startups and entrepreneurs. I know that you have also launched a new company called White Oil. We want to hear a little bit about what is it that you're doing with that. Francisco, I want to hear from you. I mean, you're the CEO of Eureka Labs here in the Middle East. You have launched yourself a very successful e-commerce platform called Yalla Baby. Tell us a bit about your journey. What were the challenges that you faced during setting up this platform?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for all the attendees and you guys to be and share this moment with me. Eureka Labs is a worldwide tech company focusing the last 15 years in e-commerce. We sold e-commerce to eBay in 2009, alamaula.co. That was the classified of eBay C2C marketplace in all Latin America. And then we sold a marketplace in the US, which was a B2B commerce to Nasper groups. So we work in Brazil with the top 5 e-commerce in Brazil. Then we started launching new ventures in the Middle East. And this is the case of currently Yalla Baby, right? Yalla Baby is the first Middle East subscription e-commerce for babies and mom products, which is a very innovative model in which I would say is the right moment after the COVID situation to go through this kind of niche model, you know. And what we have been, when we went through all the process of the startups, you know, that challenge that the setup in the Middle East is sometimes is you feel that it's easy, but it's not. But in terms of e-commerce, we realize that there are many players out there in terms of logistics, fulfillment. Just to give you an idea, we have no less than 25 steps to fulfill our boxes. You know, we deliver monthly boxes for moms, everything the baby needs for the whole month. So the moment you subscribe, you will get what we recommend the product your baby needs according to the size and the age. But we mostly offer a very premium service in which require a lot of focus and job during the fulfillment side, you know. So something that Roni mentioned is I definitely agree, in which now we are logistics is playing a main role, you know, and because of the consumer behavior have changed, we saw this throughout our moms, that we need to be there more closely to them, and our business model enables you to do that. You know, we have a very powerful customer service. We speak with the moms, let's say daily, weekly. Even though we send monthly boxes, we are very close to the customers. And this is what required right now, because during the COVID situation, everyone was lost, including our customers. And so that's why is what we require. But in terms of setting up, we have been challenged a lot, you know, regarding, even though it's minimal things like open an account, but when you started with legal issues and started forming the holding, if you have different players like investor out there or shareholder in different parts of the world, in the case of Eureka, that we have most of the tech team in Argentina and the US, but operationally we are located in the UAE. This is when the startups start having some challenge. I can speak about that hours, but I believe that after you set up a very good operation in this way, having clearly covered legally on your startups, then you started watching the sun after the cloudy, and things will get better. So I suggest to all the startups to basically ask how we went through that process. So this is a way that we can give some tips to accelerate that. This is the key, because we commit many mistakes. We know how to accelerate that process now. But it was very nice journey. We love to go through that, because that is part of the startup e-commerce. And now we could say that we were and we were ready to challenge the COVID situation, you know. So yes.
Excellent. Thank you, Francisco, for that. And maybe I take this opportunity to explain a little bit more to our attendees that the reason also for this webinar is to kind of introduce the idea that we have partnered with these four gentlemen here. We have partnered with Telr, DHL, with Roni, with DXBEE, with Francisco at Yalla Baby and Eureka Labs, in putting together a special package for any entrepreneurs that are looking to set up a new e-commerce company. We are able to give them a package solution that will help them with their distribution, with their payment gateway, with their design, platform design, anything that Francisco can do also from a point of view at advising what were the challenges that they had. Roni can help with design, Ben can help with the DHL, and of course, Khalil with the payment gateway. So it's a 360 solution that we're able to give to our clients. So after the webinar, please feel free to contact us, get in touch with us. We'll give you more details about this special package promotion that we have going on. Khalil, there's a lot of questions coming in about payment gateway and about Telr services. from the attendees. And please, to the attendees, keep on the questions coming. Khalil, people want to know, what is the process? How do they set up with you? And I want to know in particular, what kind of product is it that you are able to give to startups and to the smaller type of companies that are getting started on this?
Great, fantastic. Thank you, Lorenzo. Yes, I've been busy sending all these answers on the Q&A. So yes, we do support. Listen, Telr loves startups and SMEs. That's why we were built. We are built to support and enable these smaller businesses that have lower volumes in order to enable them to grow. Our track record has shown that when Kareem started here in the UAE as a very small startup, nobody would onboard it, nobody would talk to them. We actually went in and helped them get on the e-commerce, and we grew with them, and now they're a big unicorn. So for startups, our basic requirement for now is that you need a trade license. So after you finish your process with Creative Zone, get your trade license. We are willing to give you all the tools. So what we provide for startups, we have actually an entry-level plan for a startup that is very cost-effective at 349 dirhams a month. That's it. There's no other fees. There's no transaction fees. There's no per transaction fee. Nothing. So, and you get all the technology. You can do Apple Pay. You can do Visa, MasterCard, all kinds of acceptance, and we help you integrate into your website. We also have, I've seen a lot of questions about Shopify. A lot of these, websites or companies go to Shopify and use them as a cart. We also have plugins that are already made that you can be up and running in a few hours if you're using Shopify. And we also support 50 other ones like PrestaShop, WooCommerce, and all kinds of other shopping carts. So we are ready here. Technology is not our issue. Whatever technology you have, we have APIs. We can integrate. We can do whatever you want. Our objective is to enable and grow this business. Like my colleagues have said, the e-commerce has grown during this period. In Dubai itself, there's a 49% growth in e-commerce payments. In Saudi, there's 195%. And all this is not coming from, other than obviously the multinational larger companies, but there's so many new smaller businesses that just started up now, especially with the last mile logistics, with grocery shopping, delivery for restaurants. All these guys, they just started, took up the opportunity and started. And the way we do that is our speed to market. When you come to Telr, our objective is to get you live as soon as possible. All we need from you to do is have your documents ready. That's the only thing that's needed from your side. And we're happy to help. We're happy to customize the plan. If you are a business that cannot afford 349 dirhams a month, that's fine. It's not. We don't have just the rack rate. That's what's public. We customize our plans, our pricing plans, our integrations to meet the needs in order to fulfill our objective of enabling payments online. That's our objective. And we're here to support the startups, the SMEs, and even the large corporates.
Excellent, excellent, Khalil. Thank you so much for that. Now, Roni, I wanted to ask you, what are the more traditional platforms that people are using for e-commerce when they set up on their own? People are using Magento, Spotify. What is it that people are getting set up with?
So I'll tell you, when usually what people go with is a lot of Magento or Shopify. Now, Shopify is more popular and it's growing heavily, especially the brand. The ease of use of the CMS and the product catalog is quite simple. Now, I'll tell you a quick process that we usually go through. Working with a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of companies that are coming to us and telling us, you know what, we want to go online. We want to take our business online because either our physical stores are suffering or we just want to start a new business online. It's they start off always with the technology. Okay, we want to build this e-commerce platform. And then some of them are educated about some CMS platforms like Shopify, product catalogs like Magento, and they say, I want this. A lot of them, they don't know what they want. And they're like, you know what can I use? Now, what we've done over the years is that we've built our own Shopify platform just because we found a lot of businesses suffering a lot with transaction fees, with a lot of license fees, a lot of transactions. So what we did is for some more bigger SMEs, what we've done is we've actually just built our own simple CMS platform, allows you to upload products, manage discount codes, integrate with shipping, fulfillment centers, manage users and orders. And that's really accelerated. And a lot of these entrepreneurs are finding it easy. Now, when we first started with Shopify, with Magento, with a lot of other platforms, there's a learning curve that has to happen because you're taking that traditional business from traditional to digital. And the simpler we made it for them, the easier it is to run their business. But the biggest problem we found, other than just Shopify and the marketplace, was like, okay, now how do I get orders? And then I'm like, you need a payment gateway. Do you have a bank account? Oh no, I don't have a bank account. Oh, I need a trade license. So all these questions kept on coming up time and again. And then we reach a point where like, okay, shipping, how do I, because a lot of these businesses are new to this e-commerce world. So how do I handle shipping? How do I package these items? How can I do custom packaging? Who handles these shipping? Can I ship on demand? Can I ship international? Can I ship locally, city to city? So all these questions kept on popping up time and time again. And us being basically entrepreneurs and being innovators, we had to streamline this process. And the biggest element now we're seeing also is a lot of people, they tell you, okay, I have my shop online, everything's ready, but how do I market it? And marketing is a very big element because it doesn't matter if you have the best payment gateway, if you have the best shipping company, if you have the best e-commerce platform, and there's no actual marketing strategy or a marketing tool that's going to allow you to complete that circle, you're just going to end up, you know, like sitting there and trying to learn even more and more and more. So recently what we did was we decided to do two different routes. And one route was actually starting a venture builder platform. So building ventures that made sense to us from our experience that we used with entrepreneurs. And one of these ventures we recently launched with our partners was Pac-Man. And what's very innovative about Pac-Man is that we do everything basically in one-stop solution. So you as a customer, you come on, we will give you like a mini Shopify, very simple to use. You can upload your products, manage your orders. We do handle your shipping, your fulfillment, your ordering, your customized packaging, payment gateway, and we integrate with a full marketing platform that's to come yet. It's going to be a very big surprise, but it allows you to close the whole loop with one single solution, because a lot of these entrepreneurs that are getting out there, they want to focus on their product. They don't want to go in and start learning new tools and learning new things. Let me focus on my phone cases. Let me focus on my tissue boxes, on my vases, and give me a solution that can automate that process. And as we're learning more about the customer and the market, we can streamline that process quickly. And by partnering with other partners like Creative Zone, trade license, visas, bank accounts, being able to open that, also streamlining that process becomes quicker. And building that network of a hive effect that everyone is not competing with each other, but they're collaborating on one level, trying to build and elevate that economy. Yeah.
Excellent. I mean, this is exactly the reason why we wanted to put this webinar together, so that we all come together as a package, as an offer, and put this out in the market. I think you said it exactly. People need this to hold their hand across this entire process. And you said it rightly. People want to focus on their product, but they need the other sort of partners to help with the development of the app, the technology, the distribution, the payment gateway, and so on. That's excellent, Roni, and we hope to keep on working with you on building on this product. Ben, there's a lot of questions from the audience that relate to distribution. I see you on your phone replying to some of them. I see them here on the answered section. What are some of the questions that you're getting? What are the challenges that people are facing from a distribution point of view? We are agreeing that distribution is an important element of this whole equation. Tell us more.
Yeah, certainly. So, look, I think the first part is what we spend a lot of time is actually looking at the site, yeah? And then we try to build a strategy with a customer, how they want to grow their business and which channels they want to sell through. Currently today, they may be selling through a single channel or multi-channel approach. And really what we try to do through collaborations is to be able to provide partners who can help us, whether it's, as you mentioned, like payment gateways, whether it's the analytical side platforms. So we really try to build that to make the customer experience easy as possible to work with DHL. Now, from what we're seeing from a distribution perspective, as they go global, what we spend a lot of time is look at the analytics, trying to understand their brand or product, where it can sell well, where the de minimis values are in those countries from a cost perspective, and then trying to help them with their shipping strategy from a pricing perspective, where they can build those margins back into the product cost, where they can charge it onto the customer, where they can enable free shipping. and really try to give them a view of those markets they're going into. And the big things are, you know, things like free shipping, the customer's looking for, speed to market. You know, a lot of the time, if you don't have international shipping on the website, the customer may not purchase. If the speed to market's not quick enough, they may abandon the cart. I mean, we can see up to nearly 50% of customers will do that if they don't see there's an express option on there. Typically, when there is an express option as well, the basket value goes up also, so it's good for the merchant. And from a consumer perspective, they're happy to spend that little bit extra to make sure they get the free shipping. From our point of view, obviously, we see that as a shared responsibility to help these small businesses grow by using these analytics and our knowledge of the different markets. Just to put it in perspective, I mean, last year we helped SMEs go to 218 different countries globally last year. So we're obviously very, very pleased about that, because a lot of people wouldn't expect that people are really going cross-border just in the GCC. And I think now it's very interesting on the back end of COVID, because what we're seeing is very large organizations are not necessarily able to cope with the demand. So we're seeing that opens up a new opportunity for SMEs, especially with some new categories that were typically people wouldn't have purchased before. So we think this will continue. You know, the reality is a lot of people made that first step for the first time and purchased online. It's across all ages, all genders. So the reality is there's a lot of opportunity. From a challenge perspective, it really comes down to capacity. Now, if you look at it from an airline perspective, a lot of the airlines they're grounded. The concern moving forward for our industry is a lot of the commercial airlines that we would use as an industry, will they be in existence within 6 months' time? From a cash flow point of view, they need to be up in the skies. You know, summer's the most lucrative time of the year to make money. If they don't get these planes up and running, then the reality is we could see some of the local airlines go bust. That will put price pressure on our industry. So, you know, whoever you're sort of working with, it's very important they really have a global network. And I'm very pleased to say, you know, I'll give you an example in the GCC, DHL is the only integrator to operate its own flights. So, for example, we fly 20 flights a week into Saudi. So we still have our own set of challenges. It's still difficult. But imagine, you know, overnight you're not able to operate, you're not able to fly. Your business is grounded. You know, all of a sudden you can't connect to your customers. So we focus really hard on that to be able to keep our customers connected. Even with longer lead times, we've continued to operate and continue to serve our customers. And in the meantime, we've been able to try and diversify the customers' businesses in times where there's maybe markets that are closed. We've been able to repoint them to markets that are buoyant and open and where there's new opportunities. So, you know, we think we play a very important part in that to be able to help our customers and to help them grow.
Is there anything that we can announce about our partnership? What is it that Creative Zone clients are able to get through our partnership with DHL? How can you help them? Is there a specific solution that we're putting forward to them?
Yeah, certainly. So obviously from our perspective, you know, really there's the pricing components. So we will give discounted prices for any customers that come through Creative Zone. But more importantly, once they become part of the DHL family, it's the support. So, you know, as I mentioned, a lot of that is around their supply chain. So how they do their procuring, is it local, is it international? You know, trying to help them to ensure that from a regulatory perspective, from a customer's point of view, they don't have a lot of their products tied up from a CapEx perspective. So, you know, are they securing payment terms or a credit from their suppliers? Where do they want to land those products from a fulfillment point of view? If they want to start and they want to grow, we will help them with that, because obviously they want to be spending a huge amount of money and tying up a lot of cash at the start. Then the analytics as well. So, you know, obviously their OMS and things that Roni sort of touched, I think are really, really important. Because they need to know from a demand perspective, can they operate with a just-in-time model? Do they need to invest a huge amount of money? So there's a lot of advice and consultancy we'd give these customers as they're starting to grow. And then really on the front end, when the shipping, which a lot of people obviously would term the last mile, we would then tend to look at the analytics. So, you know, which sales channels are they selling through? Which markets are interesting for them? And really, like, we have a lot of experience, right? We've done things that succeeded, we've done things that have failed. And we've built up a lot of knowledge. So we're able to impart that to our customers and help them effectively grow. But specifically within this, the customers will get the pricing. They will get options to all the DHL solutions, including fulfillment directly through us or through our partners. We've got some interesting things happening there. And there's a number of different services that we provide through other partners as well as value add. And then also the analytics as well to be able to help them grow.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Ben, for that. Francisco, there's 250 people connected there. What is it that Eureka Labs can do for our partners, for the people that are coming to Creative Zone, and they say, right, I want to set up an e-commerce platform. If we guide them to you, what is it that you can do for them?
Yes, basically we are purely a tech company. So I have heard many of the tips from the guys, but the synergy we have with Roni is quite perfect in that way, because I heard that at the beginning you need to create an MVP, you need to try to go to market and get product market fit, which is quite important. So in order to accelerate the process of getting the product market fit, or every single step on the journey to set up the e-commerce, we can be an advice, we can be an advising on that journey. But mostly we have high qualified developers and tech from the eBay school, mostly between US and Argentina. Now we just signed an agreement with NetSuite. NetSuite is the biggest #1 ERP from Oracle for e-commerce. So basically now all our team are well trained in NetSuite, apart from managing Shopify, Magento, and some other platform. But that will give us and allow us to create big scale e-commerce platform. So basically what we realize is that with Roni, we can create easily the MVP, the prototype, proof in the market. And in order to scale that platform, we have the resources to do the back and the front on the biggest scale platform. Apart from that, we specialize in helping. Well, we did it for us, but we create a very good success case study in our operation and in terms of fulfillment. Because when you are a subscription model or subscription e-commerce, the operation are quite different, in terms of forecasting inventories, in terms of creating the layout of your space to put and fulfill the boxes with different things. So we are having now a space to scale a lot, and even though also create and bring some others e-commerce of products. Like we are now in the baby industry, but we can do the same and replicate as a mirror for any other products in terms of subscription. And then the marketing, Thomas, my partner, is the CMO, is connected here. And in terms of marketing that we didn't mention on the table right now, it's quite important when you go to market, right? So online marketing and the marketing strategy, offline, online, and how to go to market is quite important. And we have a vast experience on this throughout our history in e-commerce, and how to do marketing for subscription e-commerce is quite important. So it's a combo of advising and resources we have for any kind of developers, because we mentioned Shopify, Magento, PrestaShop, but all of these platforms give you the baseline to let's say, the columns to start creating your architecture of your backend of your e-commerce, enable you to get through an MVP. But after that, you need to have resources, developers, to start building a bigger scale e-commerce. Otherwise, there are many things that you need to change out there. For example, in Yalla Baby, we have a lot of these tricky things that Shopify is not giving you as a solution. So we need to do it separately and create our own code. And then for investors, to be honest, when you start an e-commerce platform, you are looking at maybe an exit 3-5 years or more, or thinking on getting investor on board. And for that point of view, having a very good tech platform behind, maybe in 2-3 years, independence of our own code, independent to any kind of platform, having a very big ERP connected, and many tools that you can do API, not only payment gateway, but we have, I don't know, Thomas, I think that 30 tools by API right now connected to Yalla Baby Box, which is a startup, still in startups. So imagine when you grow up in terms of API connecting by logistics, last mile, then marketing. So this is the things. As a Eureka Lab, we can provide a 360 on that way, advising in marketing, logistic operations, but mostly resources to create your own platform. So we work together with Roni, creating the MVP first, then in order to go to market and get product market fit, you start scaling your e-commerce. So you need more developers, you need a team. Eureka Lab is very, very good in creating teams. We create a team for eBay for all Latin America. We create a team for the biggest e-commerce in Brazil, Bookapé. We create a team for Nasper e-commerce, Nasper owned OLX, Duvisel. With Job Nation now, we are about closing a deal with Duvisel. Job Nation is one of our marketplace in US for career service and recruitment. It's very innovative technology by AI, powered by AI. So this is the key of Eureka. Basically, you need people, you need teams, you need developers. We have all the resources, well-trained, high qualified, and cost-effective, because we are located in countries that we are on average on a Western rate in terms of developers, but cost-effective. And basically, we know how to do it. So this is what we can offer as a part of the solution on the table.
Excellent. Very good, Francisco. Thank you for that. Now, Roni, give us an idea of a basic package that a startup could look into. What is a starting package for setting up a platform, getting hooked into Shopify or Magento, and you guys getting them ready to start selling?
Okay. So basically, I'm going to break it down into 3 types of e-commerce platforms. You have the very simple way to do it. Let's say you're a small business, you're a home business, you want to sell certain products that you create or manufacture or make or buy and trade and sell. If you don't have a lot of experience when it comes to managing, fulfillment and shipping and payment gateways and trying to understand the whole process, the easiest way to do it is to go through one of our ventures like Pacman. Because Pacman will set you up easily, create for you websites, probably in less than 30 minutes, your website is up and running. You have links you can share on social media, because the beauty of that is, as I said, Instagram is now your About Us, your Snapchat is your About Us, your Contact Us is your WhatsApp. So all we need to do is just send links. So these links are very important. If I'm showing you pictures or a video on WhatsApp or Snapchat and you find my product very interesting, I can click on it and then immediately I'll be linked to that mini e-commerce shop where I can pay, select the item, select if I want it on demand, I want it international. We do everything for you. We can even also fulfill any of your products. So we'll take them in, put them in our warehouses, and then you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is just get orders, basically. For very small businesses like that, Pacman would be an ideal solution because it will help them get their business up and running. You're looking at, because it's a very innovative platform, you're looking at subscription at 500 dirhams per month, starting from 500 dirhams per month. And then you pay just for delivery charges, and all of this is extra. But it's very ideal for entrepreneurs who just want to start. Now, if you go a little bit higher than that, like medium level companies who actually have products, have some sort of experience, we advise them to do it more integrated. So with like Shopify or with doing it with our custom solution or Magento. Usually you can see the prices starting just for development and all of that. It can start from 20,000 dirhams and go all the way up to 200, 300,000 dirhams based on the scale of the products and what you're trying to achieve with UI, UX. It's a fully custom project. But give and take, these are like the ranges we've seen across the past 7-8 years. We've been just developing a lot of e-commerce platforms in the region. Now, the third element of e-commerce, which is the future, or let's say the baseline of the future, what we're doing with Francisco, is subscription-based. because this is where we want people to get innovative. This is where we want people to get a little bit more out of the box. So subscription, what it allows you to do is automate purchases. So let's say, for example, you order water every week to your house. You order diapers every week to your house. Perfume bottles, you're ordering every month the same perfume bottle. And you have a little variety. So you can easily just work with Eureka and DXBEE to integrate and open your own venture, which is not an e-commerce platform, but a subscription venture. So automating a process with proper handling, proper shipping, fulfillment, and payment gateways to actually start up that venture. So, and where you're going to see the future of that is conversational commerce. And then through subscription commerce to, you're going to see also a lot of, what's it called? Subscription commerce to conversational commerce. And in between of these two is drop shipping, which drop shipping in the Middle East, it's starting to, it's starting to erupt. People are starting to hear about it. But still, drop shipping is going to be a big market for the Middle East, where businesses can upload products and people can just take their products, put it on their websites and start selling. And these businesses are taking the orders themselves. So it all depends on where you are as an entrepreneur. You just have to understand what's your capability, what's your strength, and how can we serve the world and how can we serve you? Because in the end, we would love to collaborate with everyone and just to actually create this hive economy where we're all growing together as one and not seeing each other as two different entities and competition and businesses, but no, we are one. Either if you sell vases and I sell vases, it's not a problem. We'll just sell more. We'll innovate together. That's what we used to do hundreds of years ago when we were into tribes. And that's what we're doing with this whole collaboration with Francisco, with DHL, with payment, with Telr, with Creative Zone to automate the process and create convenience.
Excellent. Great point. Khalil, back to you. What's the way forward for Telr? What's your strategy for growth? We were talking about penetration levels. How much have we penetrated the market with payment gateway solutions?
So we consider ourselves in the top 3 payment gateways here in the UAE, and we're in also the top 2 in Saudi Arabia. Our way forward for us is we're expanding into new countries. So we're just launching our operations in Jordan in July next month. We're also expanding into the other GCC countries as well. Our way forward is not just about us and where we're going. It's about what we're offering more to, just like Roni said, we want to get those startups, those entrepreneurs, those merchants a better offering. And that's why we will shortly announce as well that we are not only offering you the payment gateway, but we can offer you the full service, even replace Shopify, replace everybody, and just give you the full store ready to go in one package, paid in a monthly fee as a service. That's it. And you with full cataloging, integration with DHL, integration with all kinds of last mile deliveries and what have you, marketing schemes, loyalty programs, all of that. So that's what we're working on. That's what's in the pipeline that's coming up. Not only that, but we are partnering with more and more companies like the great panelists here and others that develop these kind of platforms for the entrepreneurs in order to integrate ourselves from the beginning, be easy, offer special prices for them. And Lorenzo, you got me all excited about e-commerce and what have you. Anybody that's watching this this panel, they can just quote me if they contact Telr.com, and we will give them the next 3 months free of monthly fees as a special deal for you guys. So anybody listening in, you're more than happy to contact sales@Telr.com and just mention that I mentioned that for the next 3 months, we will waive all our monthly fees for you. So that's where we were going, and we're just increasing and adding more types of payments. So like, for example, Apple Pay, while here in the UAE, it has a huge penetration. Everybody's using Apple Pay in the store and online and all of that. It's still up and coming. For example, in Saudi Arabia, it's growing. It's in other markets, it's non-existent. So that's growing. So we're developing the likes of new wallets integrations. In Saudi, we have STC Pay. Obviously, we're already connected to all the national switches like Sadad and Mada and what have you. And all these add-ons, new features that will, the key here is customer experience. We want the entrepreneur to have the best CX for his customer because he has his attention for 30 seconds. He wants him to buy, pay, and get out in 30 seconds. And this is what we're trying to enhance. The customer experience is our gold treasure.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we are reaching the end of this webinar. We have 7 minutes left. Perhaps I wanted to get a final conclusion, a final comment from each one of you. Ben, what would be your final conclusion to the people listening out there to this webinar? How can DHL help them? What is lying ahead for people that want to start in the e-commerce business, and how DHL can help?
Yeah, certainly. So, you know, from our perspective, I refer to supply chain. A lot of the time we get asked about final mile, but as I mentioned earlier, I think it's really, really important you understand about your sourcing, about where you're procuring your products, those credit lines, about how you're setting up in terms of fulfillment, how you keep you manage your capex, yeah, and your cash flow. You want to keep that as fluid as possible. And I think from the front end, in terms of delivery, you know, for DHL's perspective, we're 2 days west, we're 2 days east. We can get you anywhere in the world. And it's DHL on the ground. We're the most international company in the world. So from a customer experience perspective, if they see that brand on your site, typically the basket value will go up and the conversion will go up. We've seen that in many cases if it's set up properly. Please, really important, make sure you do a health check on your business. And what I mean by that is from a website health check, have a look at it. I'm happy to share if anyone contacts me what that looks like. We work with SimilarWeb. We do a lot of work around analytics to be able to help that conversion. And we see that's very, very important. And just keep in mind that we are the only physical touch point in the supply chain. So we are represent your brand, or anyone that you appoint as your courier. That person that turns up on your doorstep is represent your brand. If your product's great and your service is great, but we do a really bad job, that's the lasting memory. So if you're investing into the lifetime value of that customer and you've attracted them to your site, you've managed to convert them, and we let you down, you will lose that customer. So it's really, really important. Whichever partner you're selecting, they represent your brand, and they do a good job.
Excellent, Ben. Thank you for that. Francisco, what would be your final comment, your final conclusion to the 250 people looking at this webinar? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry, guys. We're facing now, you know, a pandemic worldwide, and that affects our life, our personal life, our work, and everything. And we became more solidary, you know, each other's. And in business and for startup, I believe we need to do the same. So basically, the power of partnership is that it's brought us to this webinar right now. And from a Eureka Labs point of view, everything I told you before that we can offer, but mostly advice on the step to the journey to setting up your e-commerce in order to avoid burning cash. You know, time is priceless as well. So basically, if we could advise you not to do this and do that, not only will accelerate your process, but also will allow you to really put your products in the market quite easy and faster. So my conclusion on this is I'm fully able to answer your question. You can contact through LinkedIn or through you can enter to yalababy.com to see our startup here, how the subscription works. If you are interested on having and putting in a product market that is repetitive, as Roni says, you can contact me, and well, this is the things from our point of view.
Excellent. Thank you, Francisco. Roni, your final message?
My final message would be, first of all, thank you, and thank Creative Zone, and thank everyone here who attended the webinar. There will be hopefully many webinars to come. Basically, what we really need to do together as a society and as building this new economy that we're actually building together subconsciously, and being able to consciously collaborate and empower each other is very important at these times. And this webinar is exactly about that. It's about all of us collaborating together and empowering you. So don't feel free to reach out to us. Feel free to really get out there and be a human. Be a human that's empowered to be able to make a change, make a difference. Whether you want to open your own business, whether you want to open your own, start your own line, whether you need help, whether you need advice. Everything can be happen when we connect and collaborate together. So this is a great opportunity this is a great times that we're living in. The next 5 to 10 years are going to be a huge transition for humanity. And there is a lot of things that we have also under our sleeves that are going to be coming up. They're going to change the way we empower ourselves and empower people. And I'm going to leave it at there for now. But hopefully soon you will hear a lot of interesting ventures, a lot of interesting world affecting and impactful changing humanity forever that will really allow us to really become one. And as soon as we become one, this whole webinar is about, is actually really becoming one with all the tools and skills that we have collected all as one together. So thanks.
Excellent, Roni. Excellent. Thank you so much for that. Khalil, what would be your final message to this webinar?
Final message is everybody should stay safe, use more e-commerce, and we're here to help enable and protect your assets and your businesses. And we are willing to customize and be economical in order to add value and enable you to scale and grow your business. We are a helping tool. We're not an obstacle. Let us together grow this industry in order to prosper and be more aligned into the future and what the future holds, just like Roni and the guys said. And please reach out anytime. I am available at first name dot last name at Telr.com, Khalil.Alami at Telr.com, the website is Telr.com. And we are here to help and grow the UAE to maintain its #1 position in this region. The same for Saudi as well. So please reach out and let us help you and grow together. This is my message: is stay safe and let's grow together.
Excellent, Khalil, and everybody in the panel. Thank you so much. And I guess as a final conclusion from my side, exactly what our panelists are saying. From our side at Creative Zone, our motto is because business setup is just the beginning. For us, it's not only about helping people set up their businesses. It's exactly about this. It's about helping you through the entire journey. So particularly for this, for e-commerce companies, we have put together this special product, this special package that will help you all throughout whatever you need through your journey. We will help you with a business license. We will help you with the distribution solutions, payment gateway, with the design of the app and the installation of this. So this is what we're willing to give, a 360 solution. We have a special package that goes starting from even 8,500 dirhams a year for a trade license that will get you an e-commerce license activity. And we will hook you up with all these amazing people and help you in your journey of setting up your company. For us, our email is setup@creativezone.ae, or you can email me directly at lorenzo@creativezone.ae. I'll be more than happy to help you and introduce you to these amazing people. So once again, Khalil, Francisco, Roni, Ben, thank you so much for spending the time. We look forward to working with you and keep on developing this concept. And to all the attendees, 250 people out there, thank you again for connecting, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Lorenzo. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone, joining. Take care. Bye.
A real pleasure. Thank you.
Bye. See you.
Bye.